My, we've come a long way from you having your wig yanked to the side, honey. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is the finale of season 9, Real Housewives of Atlanta. My God, it was a long time getting here. But last episode, the whole episode basically had to do with going over to Chateau Sheree. She finally got her ass in this house. First thing we see is her there with the party planners. And her whole conversation, Sheree's whole conversation was getting on my nerves because her whole conversation was literally centered around impressing other people. And I'm like, I don't have that to do. Like, no, I can't do that. It's you know, as far as where I live and how I live and what I have, those things, I can't see living for that about other people. It just seems so you know, and this is what was going on. At one point she was going off because her appliances were special order and they brought the wrong ones, and they told me, I'll take that back, that's not what she ordered. So she was so bent out of shape because the appliances weren't going to be there. Were you ready to whip up some food or something? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It just was what it was. And then my thing is, I don't understand having a housewarming party when you don't live there. She wasn't living in the house. Sheree, it's too much. It was nice to see her mom though, because I'm wanting to say, was Sheree's mother from Ohio? She surely reminds me of my cousins that I got that live in Ohio that all got them little gray ball heads, just as cute. I said, look at her, honey. I just want to go over there and just shake her, honey. She's just as cute. She wanted me. I said, go ahead, Thelma. So, well, you know, my grandmother's name is Thelma. So, my grandmother ain't bald headed. My grandmother got long gray hair, honey. But my cousins in Cleveland are just as cute with little bald heads, honey, that are gray. You know, salt, pepper, honey, all my little cousins and stuff. Child, anyway, but she was just as cute. Sheree's mom was just a doll, honey. So it was good to see her, and they were really happy, you know, when they got to the party. But I'm going too fast. We got a minute before we get to the party. So let's talk about Riley and Kandi in that motherfucking block. Now, this was some ridiculous bullshit to me. I hated that this was even filmed. I really did. Child, Riley ain't present. Okay, so we've already covered that. And then she a little rude on top of it. She don't fucking like him. She do not like his motherfucking ass, okay? And she was giving him very much of, I don't like you, you know? I have no interest in your motherfucking ass. And then she's been around too much talk of what's going on between him and Kandi in the past with Mama Joyce and all that shit. And Riley has literally chosen sides. She don't like her daddy. She don't like him. And them two got to arguing. Kandi and him was arguing back and forth. He's saying that she got her, you know, she has her brainwashed. And Riley's like, can I say something? I'm not brainwashed. And Kandi was trying to leave the table so they could talk a little bit. And Riley ain't wanted to leave. That was a whole fucking mess. It really was. It was a fucking mess. And at the end of the day, Block, she don't like you, motherfucker. Go on about your business, pay up your child support, and get on. Get on. You fucked it up. When she asked him, did you sign the birth certificate? I said, see, that's too grown. That's too grown. But that's their problem because y'all ain't had no business discussing all that shit over top of her. 13, 14 years old. What the fuck she need to know about who signed the motherfucking birth certificate? So that's really on them. She's been around the negative talk too much and she shows the sides. That shit's fucked up. I don't know that that will ever be, fixed. Because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. And I can see where she gets some of her, not in. Because he don't look very present all the time either. He was more present with the argument with Kandi than anything. He got so in the moment, like, yeah, let's argue. I said, the fuck off my TV, all of you. All three of you motherfuckers. Anyway, moving on. Okay, Phaedra and Johnny. So, Phaedra and Johnny are meeting with the lawyer. Phaedra, bitch. Why are you there? Why are you here again, bitch? After I don't have nothing to do with this. This ain't none of my fight. This, that, the other. Why are you there? Why are you there? Then you're going into, they said no, the whole thing about the old lady gang, we can't sue her for that. Ain't enough proof and stuff for that. You want some fuck shit with that, so no. But we're going to go after her as far as the wages and shit. That motherfucking Phaedra slipped this. Well, I worked some numbers. And bitch, why are you here? You keep saying you don't have nothing to do with it, but you working figures. What the fuck you working figures for, bitch? I'll give you some figures to work. How much money did your motherfucking husband steal, bitch? And then write on a piece of paper, how much of it do you have, bitch? Work on those figures, and you won't have time to fool with none of Johnny's figures. Get on, Phaedra, bitch. You doing too much. You're doing too much. Moving on. Sheree. Getting everything together. Got her outfit and all that. Again, you're a designer. I'm sure she's not wearing She by Sheree. Okay, so she's doing all that. Getting everything together. It's coming together. They were talking about roping off different parts where people couldn't go. Which means you should be having a party. Anyway, moving on. Porsha and Lauren went to the grave site to see their father. Okay. I know people do that. I ain't never going up to a grave site to see nobody, baby. When they dead, they're done, honey. Once they take you up the hillside, don't worry about seeing me no more, honey. I don't spend time with stiffs at all. That's just something I ain't throwing no party for nobody that's dead. Fuck you buying a cake for a dead man. But people do it. It's something in the way that they grieve. When you dead, you done. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't want no more of it. It's over for me. I can't. No, thank you. Sitting up at no grave site. No. Anyway, Dawn ended up calling Kandi, and so Kandi now knows about the lawsuit right away. She said, I bet you Phaedra got something to do with this, and I bet you you're motherfucking right. I bet you're right. And sure enough, Phaedra gets dressed, and Dwight's going to be her little escort to the party. Child, he got there. They talking shit on Sheree before they even leave the house. But Dwight, seriously, you're a good friend, right? And you let her walk out the door with that accordion, them accordion sides on that dress. Very cute dress. It wasn't for her. It would have been cute for Porsha. But that meat sitting on top of itself, ain't no meat got no business in no cutout laying on top of itself like no double-decker motherfucking sandwich. That was not cute. I said if she don't have Big Macs on the side, on the side. No, girl, you need something with the sides closed in, and you need a waist trainer or some type of an undergarment to smooth you out because you're not smooth. Stop pretending to be skinny. You're not. Your shape is cool, but you're not skinny, and cutouts is not the motherfucking business. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to the party. Todd at first he didn't even want to go to the party. Then he said, you know what, I better go keep Kandi calm and shit. And they went and everything. Kandi looked nice. Everybody pretty much looked nice. I don't know what that shit is that Kenya had on. And those shoes were ugly, but you know, whatever. She was dressed perfect for what she came for. She came to start shit, and she looked kind of shitty, so it was cool. Um, the other Todd, what is your problem? What is your problem? You're walking in the door with Porsha. She got a gown on, and you got on somebody's granddad's sweater and a pair of motherfucking jeans. What is your problem? Stupid ass. And then she's stupid for going in there with him. Do you honestly believe that I would put on a gown and be walking around with a motherfucker with a motherfucking grandpa sweater on? Not with me. Not with me. Pay attention to Peter and Cynthia. Whenever Peter and Cynthia went out, Greg and Nene, whenever they went out, them old motherfuckers was dressed. And what they wore complemented what their women had on. They're dressed. There's no way your woman should have on a gown and you're wearing jeans. Stupid. Anyway, moving on. And then y'all stupid for going out there with him. I go by my motherfucking self first. Anyway, moving on. Porsha gets the tea from outside. You know, they talking about old girl showing up at the OLG. And Porsha right away blaming it on Kandi. Talking about, oh, they serving sloppy seconds down at that restaurant. What does Apollo's girlfriend have to do with that restaurant? I'm waiting, Porsha, you dumb bitch. What does Nora, Bertha, and motherfucking Joyce have to do with Apollo's motherfucking girlfriend? Now, y'all can stop that shit. Kandi don't have nothing to do with that. Kandi had nothing to do with that. Todd could have stopped it, but he didn't. But Kandi had nothing to do with that. And y'all need to stop trying to build a case on that shit. But Porsha, you just keep hanging on. Your shit's going to blow up in your face sooner or later. When all the shit about your good friend, Phaedra, comes out, bitch, it's going to blow back your face so deep that your eyelashes, bitch, are going to be stuck to your motherfucking eyebrows. You just keep on waiting, girl. These next 4 weeks to come, girl, I can't wait to see it, honey. Anyway, moving on. Phaedra. What is that shit you talking about? You ready to knock a bitch's head off? Which bitch are you talking about? Smoke Kandi? You ready to knock her head off? You a bad bitch now? You ready to knock her head off? Okay. 4 weeks, honey. We're going to see in 4 weeks. Did you knock her head off? Or did you ease your way out of getting your motherfucking head knocked off? Because everybody done got so tough all of a sudden. Anyway, then we saw the Married to Medicine girls. We seen Quad and Dr. See, I've been trying to be nice because that's what I call her, Dr. Squarehead, honey. Dr. Heavenly and Toya came to the party, and Lisa Wu was there. It was good to see Lisa. Then Kim and Croy came. Y'all know I don't like Kim. I do not like Kim, and I do not like Croy. But I was living for them tonight. I was. They came in, shady as a motherfucker. Walked right in, and she seen Kandi sitting there and did not speak, honey. She gave right on past Kandi. I said, oh, she started shit coming in the door. By this time, Sheree had come down. She had on this whole black velvet situation with the pants and the full skirt that looked like she had a ball gown on. And eventually, when all the shit started going down, because some shit started going down, she pulled the skirt off, and then she just had the catsuit. She really didn't need the big skirt. It was just cumbersome and in the way. And it was giving drag. It was cool, but her ponytail was fucked up. The outfit was cool. You know, it was all the way over the top like the house and all that. That ponytail was a horror. It was terrible. Not enough hair. It wasn't on straight. That child, that's where the budget ran out, honey. She had a large budget. It got all the way down to the hairdresser, baby. And it was like, I can't do this. I don't have any more money for my hair. Cairo put my ponytail on. And that's what it looked like. And you know his ass ain't present. It was just as lopsided. I said, girl, you better go ahead on, honey, with that It looked like the king and I after the show, honey. It was sitting back and off to the side. I said, "Child, that ponytail's fucked up." But anyway, Kenya and Kim, for some reason, just got into it. Kenya won. Kenya came into the house. It was horrible. Her whole situation was horrible from the door. Kenya came in on some bullshit and continued on into some fuck shit and then moved on into some old goddamn fuck shit. She was cutting up terrible. She really deserved to be put out. And actually, Kim tried to put her out a couple times. She told her, "You need to quit being an asshole and get out." Who comes to somebody's house warming and acts like an asshole? And this, that, oh, they went back and forth. They went at it. They went at it. And she literally came into the house looking for something wrong and eased her way and found that down the basement that the basement wasn't done and went there. And when Sheree found out somebody had gone in the basement, she was just on 10 at that point. It got really ugly. It really did. But when I tell you that Kim and Kenya were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, Kim gonna tell Kenya, and I ain't saying neither one is. It was a war, so it didn't make a difference. Nobody was hitting any lower than the other one. It was just even skill, throwing shade. Could have went to blows, really. I didn't feel bad about the fact that Kim jumped in for Sheree because it's Sheree's night. And she jumped in, they're friends. They've come a long way since she shook her motherfucking wig. And she told her, this is my friend's night. Bitch, don't come in here with this bullshit. So I didn't even have a problem with that. So I'm not even placing a blame of who was right and who was wrong. Wrong was actually Kenya even being there because she acted terrible. She acted terrible as a guest. But the whole thing about her and Kim, child, it just was what it was. But they went at it, baby. And Kim told her, bitch, you don't even know me. You don't even know me, but I know that you want to be like me, bitch. I know you want to have kids, bitch, and I got 6 and you can't have them, bitch. And you want to have a man, bitch, and I got one. And Kenya gave her very much, yeah, you got one, bitch, but he ain't got no job. Now you need to be worried about that. I said, oh. I was like, oh my. She said something about how much money he had made before him. That they were okay. She said, well, that's good for y'all. I'm okay without a man, bitch, but you need to be worried about that. I said, oh, Kenya. They was at it. I said, oh my goodness. It was something. And I can't really say when they were upstairs, I ain't going to say who won that reading session. They was both nasty as hell to each other. But Kim won the overall war. When that bitch did this real quick move, I said, Kim, you're a fucking drag queen, and I love it, bitch. She came down them steps, and she said, well, she said, bye, everybody. She said, I'm going to go here and say bye to these other girls. Oh, yes, and I'm going to say bye to that other bitch on my way out. I said, oh, so she got Corey coming behind her. She go over there, she hugs all the girls. Bye, honey. Yes, let's get together. Even her and Kandi, talk about their little, the way things ended up with them and that they need to have lunch and catch up. Okay, sweetie, I'll see you. All right, bye, darling. And oh yes, honey. And bye-bye. And then Kenya will say, oh, have a good night, Kim. She said, no, I wasn't talking to you, and I don't know why you're even still here. And went on out the door. I said, oh, Kenya, bitch, she got you. She got you, bitch. She got you, bitch. Ah. But I know you'll get her back. See, Kenya don't play. Kenya don't forget nothing. Kenya's going to get Kim. Y'all just, if it be 3 seasons from now, she ain't even on the program. She's going to get Kim. But Kim won the war, bitch. You held your own in the battle, but that bitch won the war, girl. She got you going out the door, bitch. That was a mess. She rolled out. Next thing you know, we seen, last thing, Phaedra and Kandi got to have a little, and before they even had it, Sheree and them had sat with Phaedra and told her about old girl showing up at the OLG and that it was not Kandi's fault. And they, don't even feel no kind of way. Kandi had nothing to do with it. Kandi was just surprised. They cleaned it up. It was done. She should have been done with it. She should have been off it, but she wasn't. She didn't want to turn it loose. She wanted to be mad at Kandi. So she thinks. She thinks she wants to be mad at Kandi until Kandi put her fist in her face, honey. But she wants to be mad, so she was holding on to that bullshit. And when Kandi talked to her, Kandi came to her, sat down and said, I just want to sit and talk to you. I am sorry about Sheree showing up to the thing. I knew nothing about it. Had I known something about it, I would have stopped it. And I'm kind of glad that you didn't show up so it wouldn't be awkward. But I didn't like it. That bitch, she shit on Kandi's apology, like, whatever. So Kandi went on and told her, so, well, while we're at it, I guess you know that Johnny's suing me. You wouldn't have anything to do with that, would you, Phaedra? Oh, well, you know how Phaedra do. She went to that line debutante act, honey. I'm not allowed to really talk about it. Guilty is motherfucking charged, and Kandi got it. Kandi sat there, looked at her like, guilty is charged, bitch. I'm gonna get you, bitch. Don't worry. Kandi needs to take and put her fist all the way in Phaedra's motherfucking face. Cause she's gone too far. Too far. But that's it, baby. It's over. 4 weeks of this goddamn reunion we got coming up. I need to see what's going to go down. There's a lot of moving around. There's a lot of moving parts, honey, to this reunion. So it's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, y'all. We'll see you for part 1 next Sunday. Bye, guys.